Hey everyone. Hey Kristen, thanks for being here. This is new for me. Um I have not gone live out away from my computer. So I'm trying to get a feel of going live on my phone because I've never gone live on my phone. So I actually have two phones. I just recently got a new phone because the one that I have here, the battery is terrible. So I got a replacement is what I got. But can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me okay. Like I said, this is new and I'm doing it in the vertical because, hello, Jaden. I'm doing it in a vertical format because I heard that it's a new thing and, why not try it out, right? So I'm just basically doing, oh, great, can hear and see. Okay, great. Um, yeah, so I've not gone live on my phone before. What is that banner? Live viewer comments show up. Why is that banner there? Hold on a second. Can you see that banner that's there? The one that says, I don't know why that's there. Vertical's good. It also gets put in the shorts too. Oh, okay. Good to know. I didn't know that either. Hey, Troy. Thanks for coming in. Um, so I'm trying to figure out why that StreamYard banner is there. Um, yeah, I don't know why that's there. Can you guys see that banner that says live viewer comments show up in StreamYard? You can see that? I don't know why that's there. I don't know how to get rid of that. Ooh. Yeah, so I've never gone live from my phone and okay, there we go. I think it's gone now, right? All right. I think it's gone now. All right. Just trying to get this set up. Okay, it's off. Good. All right. So let me make sure that my charger is plugged in so we don't lose any power. Doing this. We're doing some seed starting today. So let's make sure you guys can see. All right. Oh, that's a little crooked. There we go. Maybe. Maybe. All right. Yeah, it's off. Okay, good. So, yeah. So I got about, oh, did you see my eye? Can you see my eye? Look at my eye. Maybe you guys can see it. Let me look at my eye. Zeke, I was playing with Zeke. I can't get this silly camera to go straight. I was playing with Zeke and he pawed at me and got me right across my cheek. And man, he was so sorry when he did it. He really was. Like, he was so sorry. But it hurt so bad. This dude here, he's big. Look at him. He doesn't sit on the floor. He wants to sit on the sofa, on the futon. It's like a little toddler. Anyway, yeah, but that hurt pretty bad. All right. So let's get started with what I'm trying to figure out how to get you guys up so you guys aren't crooked. There you go. All right. So fall seeds. This is my deadline. This is my this is my deadline to start my fall seeds. So I am starting a fall garden because there's a lot of things that I can't grow in the spring. Hello, girl dad. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I can't grow in the spring that I have to grow in the fall. So what I do is I start all those things in the fall instead. And then my hope is to start all the things this fall. That way, because I just revamped my whole garden. Like I dug everything up, and I had some pretty established like kale plants and some other things, but I just really needed a revamp in my garden. So I ripped all that stuff out and I decided I was going to start over again. And then I forgot to plant kale. I planted tons of collards, but I didn't plant any kale. So the collards will stay where they're at for the fall, and I'll leave them there and I'll let them self-seed themselves. Okay. That way, that whole bed will be established and it'll have collards every year. Okay. When it goes to seed, I'll let those seeds fall and they'll just grow when they grow. So I'll never have to plant those collards again. So that's a relief there because we do eat a lot of greens. Hello, Nana Nine Acres. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Broken Hearts Ministry, Jennifer Ocean. Thank you guys all for coming in. Oh, love raid from Gail, Jamie and Gail. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch Jamie because I was working on my t-shirts for my son's. Um, Hello, Rainy Ridge. Thanks for coming in. I was working on some t-shirts for my son's boot camp graduation. So Blackberry Rock Homestead, thanks for coming in. I have a Cricut, and I think basically the only two things that I do with my Cricut, well, I shouldn't say two. I've done three things on the Cricut. I've done stickers, I've done t-shirts, and I have done like centerpieces for my daughter's graduation party. So yeah, well, her high school graduation party. But her high school graduation party was like a going away party because she was leaving for the Navy like right after that. My son waited a while and then he enlisted. So I didn't do a lot of um, decorations in his graduation party because we had it outside and it was a little windy that day. So I did some balloons and streamers and we had a swimming pool and that was that. Hey Jamie, I'm so sorry I missed your live. I was just telling everybody I was working on the t-shirts for my son's graduation, Navy graduation from boot camp. And if I would have thought about it, and I was so into my project, but if I would have thought about it, I could have just had you running on the TV, if anything. But I was in the zone and I was just going. So I'm halfway through. I got all of my designs cut on my HTV, and now I just have to iron them on the shirts. So that only takes, that's like half the battle. So I will watch the replay though. I'll definitely put it in my watch later list. That way I can watch the replay. So hey Gail. Gail's got both of her channels up. She's got Broken Hearts and then she's got Gail Southern Living. So are you guys starting a fall garden? Is anybody starting a fall garden? Today is my deadline for, well, this week I should say, is my deadline to start my fall seeds. So that's why I decided, well, the 15th is on a Monday, and Monday's usually when I do my live. So why not start my seeds on the live? This is the first time I've done a live from my phone. So I decided to go ahead and do the vertical method because I've been hearing so many things about it. So I decided to go ahead and do that. But it looks like it's doing okay. I got a second phone here for my my comments because it looks like I can't comment back when it's on my phone. Like I can't do from what I can see, I can't make any comments. Does anybody do Yours died horribly, so you're going to try again. Well, don't give up. I'm still starting my summer garden. Yeah, Jennifer, you just got all of that compost, that beautiful horse manure. I'm kind of jealous because um I have a free compost site, but it's mainly leaf compost, not animal manure. So I know that horse manure is very, very rich in nitrogen and stuff. So that gives your plants such a good start, good strong start. So yeah, so like I was saying, I can't do comments on the phone. At least I don't think I can. So that's why I have the second phone. This is my old phone. I just got a replacement because the battery was so bad. So at some point I might not be able to comment anymore, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me show you guys what I have. Oh, I was showing everybody my eye. You guys probably can't see it, but like I was playing with Zeke and he pawed me right on my face. Zeke's not a little dog, and his paws are not little. And it was my fault because I was on the floor and I was rolling around with him and we were messing around and he pawed me and he felt so bad. He really did. He felt so bad about it. But yeah. Hey, Kevin, Tuber Chat. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so he did. He really felt bad. It did hurt. It hurt so bad though. I immediately put some ice on it and then I put some triple antibiotic ointment on it because I don't want it to get any worse. And then we've got the graduation coming up, so I'm hoping it's not going to be in all the pictures like I have this black eye or something. All right, so let me show you guys what there's 14 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. Um, let's see if I can get this banner. There we go. Yes. All right. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. It's going to help the channel and the algorithm and all that good stuff. So, all right. So this is, and if you've seen any of my seed starting videos, then you might have already seen me using this here. So this is, uh, it's just a container that I had got some ground beef in. Okay, I put it through the dishwasher, washed it because it says on the, I can't find it right now, but it says on the yeah, it says microwave reheat only, but it also says like dishwasher safe. So I just washed it out and I'm just using what I have because I don't like to buy stuff that I can just reuse, you know, what I already have. So this is what I use to get my seed starting mix hydrated. Okay, so it's about, I think it's like about a 5 pound container, whatever, plastic container. And then what I use to start my seeds, because these seeds are going to have to come in the house. These seeds are going to have to come in the house because it's too hot outside for these seeds. And if I leave them outside, they're just going to bolt. So I can't do the outside seed starting. I'm going to have to start these and bring them in the house. So I need to have a starting mix that has no organic or no like organic materials in it. So like I don't want bugs in the house. I don't want that kind of thing. And if I take some dirt or compost from outside and bring it in, it could have larvae in it and you know insects will hatch and then I'll have a mess on my hands. So I don't want that. So that's why I start with this it's a seed starting mix and I've always used it. It's a brick. okay, of the burpee seed starting mix. This one brick will make 8 quarts of seed starting mix. Okay. So usually I just cut it in half and then I do it like half at a time because this will expand bigger than what my container can hold. So I'll do half at a time. And basically you just, if you've never seen it before, you just put it in your container and you hydrate it. And then you just wait for it to be hydrated. I like to use hot water when I hydrate it. It for one, it hydrates faster, and two, it sterilizes it so that I can be sure 100% there's nothing in here that's gonna, you know, be hatching or whatever. But it's cocoa coir, okay, so it's not peat. It's 100% biodegradable, made from plants. Sustainable resource as compared to peat. So I decided that I'm going to wean off of using any type of peat. Use rabbit poopy waters. Hey Charles, bushcraft family. Yes, I can do that too. When I do fertilize the seedlings, that's what I usually use is the bunny brew is what I call it. So I do still have rabbit manure that I had from when I had my rabbits, and I have worm castings as well. So what I'll do is I'll put those in like a tea bag type of thing, and I don't have any right here to show them to you, but they're just like these little mesh bags, and they have like a little string on them. So I fill it up and then I tighten the string and then I let it steep for like overnight maybe. And then I just take that out and then I just use the liquid. So, and it's got all the nutrients in it. But yes, rabbit, can I highlight that? Ah, look at that. Rabbit poopy waters. Yes. This is my first time going live on my phone, you guys. I usually do lives from the computer in the house. It is pretty hot out here. So, um, yeah, the humidity is crazy. We had a pretty gnarly thunderstorm last night. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So, this is coconut coir. So yeah, this is coconut coir. So I try not to use the, I try not to use any peat. Okay. These seeds that I'm starting are going to have to come in the house, and I don't want to use any compost from outside because, like I said, I don't want anything to hatch inside. I need it to be sterile as possible just to start the seeds. And then once I start to fertilize them, I will do bottom fertilizing, like bottom watering, all that good stuff. And then I will also fertilize from the bottom as well. So it's always going to be liquid. So this is the brick that I use. But I do it half at a time. So I've had a couple of them. I also use, and I don't know if I brought them out here. I use those peat pellets, but like I said, I'm trying to get away from using peat because it's not a sustainable resource. But I do have a lot on hand, so I'll probably use those up, and then I won't buy them again. But they're pretty cool for having individual seed starts and whatnot. But I do have quite a bit of those because I bought a bunch of them because they were on a clearance, like not last year, but the year before. The box is like 36 in a box, and it was at the time the regular price was like maybe almost $4. And I got it on clearance for like $1.24 or something like that. So I bought a bunch of boxes. I think I might have bought the rest of what was on the shelf, but then I did, I was doing some more research and hearing a lot of things about the fact that peat is not sustainable. So I'm getting away. I still have a bunch of peat that I have from a huge bag that I was doing when I was mixing my own soil and stuff like that. So I still have a huge bag of peat in the shed as well. So like I said, I will use the rest of that, but after that is exhausted, after I've gone through that supply and all those peat pellet supply, I will not be looking to use peat in the garden. Instead, I will try to use like coconut coir as much as possible. So let me grab some of these bricks. These ones are smaller, and these ones I got. These ones I got from the Dollar Tree actually, and it's this one. These make 3 quarts, so they're a lot skinnier than the brick, but it works out because I can only do half of the brick at a time anyway because I use this container. Might need to get a scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this brick in my container, and then I'm going to cover it with water, and it should, see that? You can see the coconut fibers in it. All right, you see how thin it is, right? So I'm going to put it in here, and I've got some rainwater that I got from outside. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this, and then I'll show you guys too. All right, so let's take a look and see what's going on. Never done the live from, oh, Timu has those, huh? That's good to know. Hey, our treasured home, thanks for coming in. Nikki, thank you, thank you. So like I said, I don't think I can do the roundabout with the camera, but I'll show you guys here. It's already expanding. You can see how much it has expanded already. So I hope you guys can see that. It's already like doubled in size. I think I'm gonna change my table around a little bit because the light is better coming from this way so that you guys can see a little bit better. So yeah, look at that. It's almost absorbed all the water that I put in there. So, like I said, that is the coconut coir seed starting brick. They sell them, they sell them at Wally World. They sell them all different places. The ones that little skinny ones, I actually got from the Dollar Tree. Sorry, I don't know if that was cutting out on you guys or what. It's my first time using my live, in case you are wondering. And I'm trying to use this vertical method because I heard it's really good. Well, I heard it's there. The light's better from that way, so we'll do that. Good, good, good. All right, look at that. Look at how much it's expanded. It's almost to the top of the container, whereas it started out like this. I like them better than the peat moss too, bushcraft. So that's why I always use these when I'm starting seeds. Um, so let me grab a shovel. And then I'm gonna stir this up. Look at that. See that coconut wire? You can see the fibers of the coconut. So yeah, look at that. It makes 3 quarts. 3 quarts of seed starting mix. So, like I was mentioning today, well, rather this week is my deadline for starting seeds for fall. So, when you're thinking about starting seeds for fall, you have to figure out when is your first frost date. Okay. My first frost date is predicted to be October 22nd. I'm in zone 6A. I used to be 5B, but now I'm 6A. So I'm in 6A, and it's predicted that my first frost is going to be October 22nd. Now, I can delay that a little bit with like row covers, hoop houses, greenhouses, cold frames. That's been kind of mild in my area as far as winters is concerned. We've seen up into November uh, temperatures in the 70s. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did not get the frost on October 22nd. So there we go. That's like almost a full container of seed starting mix there. And that's just from this natural and organic expanding soil alternative. And it's coconut coir. 100%. They store easily, like they don't take up a lot of space. Let's see if I can get you guys back straight over here. All right. So yeah. So this is what I'm using to start my seeds. All right. So let's talk about the dates. Okay. So I said my first frost date is October 22nd. So what I need to do is I need to count backwards. I need to count backwards 6 weeks. Is it, wait, I need to count backwards. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I need to count backwards 8 weeks. Okay. So I count backwards 8 weeks, and then I count, that'll be my transplant date. So that'll be the date that I set my seedlings outside. So that for me falls in August. Okay. And then 6 weeks before that is my seed starting date, because around here, I'm not going to find any starts for a fall garden. I'm just not going to find any. The nurseries have all, they're done with, they're already like doing clearance sales on the plants that they do have that are outgrown their cells and are Found and all the good things, yeah, they're like selling those for like $1. But I mean, those aren't going to do very well because they've been in those little seed trays for how long? So they're not starting new seeds and they're not selling starts for fall. So I need to start my own starts for fall. So, like I said, 8 weeks before my first frost date is my transplant date. So I'm going to start my seeds 6 weeks before that, which falls today. Today is my 6 weeks before my August transplant date, which is like somewhere at the end of August. So my seedlings will go outside in August. Hopefully it'll be cooling off by that time. The days will be getting shorter and it'll be okay for them to be outside. So if you are trying to figure out when you're supposed to start your fall garden, that is the method that you use. First frost date, subtract 8 weeks, and then subtract 6 weeks. That's your seed starting date. 6 weeks later is your transplanting date. Okay, so let's talk about what seeds am I going to start? This heat is whipping my rump. Yes, it is. It's hot here. It is hot. It is going to be like 91 today, and the humidity is like off the charts. So, yeah, there's that. So I'm out in the sunroom, and I've got my sliding door open, and then I've got my walking door open, the man door, I guess you could call it, open, so that I can try to get across this. And then I've got a fan blowing outward to try to suck some airflow. I mean, it's really not doing anything. But anyhow, let me grab my seeds. And we'll talk about what seeds I'm starting. Well, first, let me grab my list. All right, so my list is, I'm going to do some sorrel. I have red vein sorrel and I have regular sorrel. So I'm going to do both of those. I'm going to do all of the kales that I can do. So that's going to be the lacinato kale or the dino kale, the red Russian kale, the white Russian kale, 1,000-head kale, and I think I have another kale called the Bates kale. Boiling here, especially since my house doesn't have AC except for one room upstairs. Old electrical. Oh, that's the worst, Jen, when you got old electrical because it's dangerous. So yeah, and then I don't think I'm going to start the collards. I had collards on the list, but the collards that I have out there, I was worried that they weren't going to take off because they were so stunted, it seemed like. But they did. They actually are getting bigger, and I think by the time the weather cools off, they'll really take off. So I'm not going to do collards, even though I have it on the list. Swiss chard. I absolutely love Swiss chard. Swiss chard grows in heat and it grows in the cool weather. So, and it's a biannual, so it doesn't seed it doesn't go to seed every year. Most of your greens like spinach, not spinach, collards, kales, and chard, they all are biannuals. So they're not going to go to seed their first year of growing. They're not going to go to seed till their second year. So if I plant like the collards that I have out there now, they're not going to go to seed until next summer. That makes sense. So they're not going to go to seed this year. Their first year of growing. Or wait. Yeah, I think that's it. So I am going to do some spinach because I love spinach. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna do so yeah, the chard. I have a couple kinds of chard that I'm gonna do. I have I've got ruby red chard out there now, so I might not do that one, but I think I'm gonna do the rainbow chard and what's that other one called? It's like giant chard. Is it giant in the name? I feel like it's like giant something chard. Anyhow, I'll get the seeds in a second and then I'll be able to. Mustards go to seed so fast for me, and I only got one harvest off my red mustards. So I do have a plant out there now that has gone to seed, and I'm gonna let it go to seed, and then I'm gonna let it seed itself, and then oh geez, there's a huge wasp in here. Oh my gosh, it looks like a queen wasp. I might need to get that out. I'm gonna wait and see if it'll go out by itself. Anyway, the red mustards are gonna go to seed. They are seeding now. So I'm gonna let those go to seed and then drop the seed over the one out. And hopefully I'll get the red mustards to grow again for the fall. Um, radishes, definitely you can do radishes like every 2 or 3 weeks through the whole growing season. Asian cabbages. I let my Italian basil go to seed. It's hot. Yes. Well, that's a good thing, Jamie, because then you don't have to plant it again. I don't know about you, but my basil will not come back if um, if I clip and don't let it go to seed. The plant that is there, once it dies, it's dead. It's not coming back. But if I let it seed itself, then it will come back. And it's not that it's coming back, it's that it's reseeding itself. So I have to let my basil reseed itself. Otherwise, I won't have basil on its own. I'll have to plant basil. And I had such a hard time this year with basil. I don't know what it was. Like, I had 3 different kinds of basil seed, maybe 4. I had the holy basil, 2 different people sent me holy basil, and I started both of those seeds. Um, well, I planted both of those seeds. I planted the purple basil, I planted the lettuce leaf basil, and I want to say lemon basil. So I planted lots of different basils. So different seeds, different seed companies, or maybe I got them from the seed swap, what have you. But none of my basil germinated. None of it. And I was like, you know what? It can't be the seed because it's not all from the same place. So, I mean, I finally got two purple basils to sprout. So I'm keeping those like in a bush pretty much, like in the shade in a bush so that they never dry out and they don't get too much sun. And I also seeded some holy basil that I got for the third time. And it looks like it's trying to germinate. So, but we keep getting a lot of rain. So I'm not sure that it's going to make it because every time it starts to germinate and have these tiny little seedlings, it rains and then I don't see those seedlings anymore. But it's in the same pot with the purple basil, so it's I put a lot of seed in there, so some of that seed is going to have to germinate. Once it cools off, it'll germinate. Um, Purple basil did the best. Yeah, it usually does. I heard if you cook radishes in a crock pot, it tastes like potatoes. Jennifer, you are correct. When I was doing the keto diet, I used to cook radishes instead of potatoes, and whatever flavor you put in there, the radishes will take on that flavor, and they will taste just like potatoes. I didn't have to put them in the crock pot though. I just sauteed them with spinach, and they worked out just fine. I cut them, of course, so that they were smaller pieces. But yes, that is correct. I've had it before. My lettuce bolted in no time this year. It was crazy. Yeah, I also only got one harvest out of my lettuce because it went to seed. It got bitter, so I only did the one harvest. I have holy and Genovese basil growing. Oh yes, and Genovese basil, of course. The main basil. I planted that as well and I didn't get any. And Bushcraft said his did the same thing. So I'm pretty sure that it was probably just the weather conditions and it just I don't know, it just wasn't suitable for the basil to survive. Like they would germinate and then they wouldn't thrive. Because I did get um two of the little pea pellets to germinate some basil. I believe it was the holy basil. Or no, it was the Genovese basil. I got two, maybe three of those little pea pellets to germinate some basil, and then as soon as I put it outside, it was dead. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like, what is going on?" So I didn't have any basil this year. I had to go to the nursery or the farmers market where I usually get my starts at, and they had everything on clearance. So the basil that I got was already trying to flower, but it was $1 for the little 4 pack. So I just bought it anyway and planted it out there. And I clipped off the flowers to try to prolong the basil's life, but I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, the Asian cabbages, all the Asian cabbages, I'm gonna try to do that for the fall too, because Asian cabbages go to seed so fast. Like the pak choi and the tatsoi and like all those little Asian greens, they just go to seed so fast that I can't grow those in the summer and I mean in the spring because by the time they get nice and the leaves start to get nice and big and get some growth on them, it gets hot and then they hurry up and bolt and they turn bitter so fast. So I might get one harvest off of them in the spring and then it's right it's already bolted. So I'm gonna put the Asian cabbages and greens out as well. And then I'm also gonna grow mash. Okay. Um so mash you can grow year round. It's so hardy. Like it's hardy to just about every zone, okay? It's a leafy green. It's like a salad green pretty much. And basically I'm going to try to grow that all year round. So I'm going to dedicate maybe some space for that so that if it does go to seed that it can just reseed itself. Um I might do that in intertwined in with the collards. So, but I have a ton of mosh seed. So if anybody wants to grow mosh for the winter, leave a comment in the section after the live, in the comment section after the live is over. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll go back to the comments afterwards, and then we can do some mosh giveaways. So I think those were all of the seeds that I was going to start. I thought about doing kohlrabi and broccoli and all the things, but I don't have the space in ground right now. Right now, what I did this year was I grew most everything in containers because of the vine borers and the squash bugs and all that good stuff that was, in the soils. Plus, I was so riddled with weeds. I don't know if you guys saw, like at the beginning of the season, those weeds in my garden were terrible. So I pretty much just ripped everything out. I put a big black plastic tarp down. Hey, Robin, thought about buying basil starts, but it was too expensive. Yeah, they were like maybe $5 for the 4 pack. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I can grow my own basil. And then I couldn't grow my own basil. But then when I went back, they were on clearance because it was already like middle of the season and they were trying to get rid of everything. Never heard of it. Mosh? Yeah. It's called corn salad. If you another name for it is corn salad. Robin, yeah. So mosh is really good for growing all year round, and you can grow it in just about any zone. It's super hardy, super hardy. All right, so yeah, so I thought about doing like the brassicas, like kohlrabi and broccoli and cauliflower and that, but like I said, I'm growing in containers right now, and I don't know if I'm gonna be done at the end of August to have space for those things. I know that my beds that are outside of the garden, I have tomatoes and beans there. So the beans might be done, but the tomatoes will probably still be producing in August. Um, and the other bed has melons in it, so that will probably just about be producing at that time. So yeah, I don't really have enough space to do those right now, but I have those new garden beds that my husband got me. I just have to fill them. I haven't done that. The trips that I've made to the compost site, I've only done to fill my containers. I haven't done to fill that bed, so that might have to wait till next spring. And what I'll do is I'll empty out all of my containers that are spent into that growing um into that grow that bed, and then I'll be able to use that next spring probably. And I hate that it's outside the garden. I might move it, but I would have to take up that plastic tarp if I moved it because I don't want it on top of the plastic, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's get started. I got my seed medium here. It's all nice and moist and fluffy. So I'm ready for that. Let's get the seeds. All right, so this is my big box of seeds here. This is just some of them anyway. I'm gonna do a video for all my seeds, but yeah, this is my seed collection. So basically, I have it separated by like categories, and then in these Ziploc bags. So this one is herbs. I actually have two herbs and two flowers because I have so many herbs and flowers. My little mosh, I don't know the spelling, but they're growing. It's the first time growing it. Yep. I'm planning on doing that for fall. It's a cool weather green. It prefers the cool weather. So yeah. All right. So let me find out what I got to get out of here. Okay, so this is my kales and my spinaches. All right, so I did say kale was on the list. Hold on, all right, I did say kale was on the list, so let's find out. Oh, and spinach. I don't know about these spinach seeds though. I did have some spinach that went to seed, and I went ahead and like dropped all those seeds in the bed. So hopefully those will germinate and grow me some spinach. But spinach seed doesn't keep a long time, and I don't even know how long I've had some of these spinach seeds. Oh, I have a Portuguese kale. So this is Portuguese kale. All right. And these are all spinach. This is the red Russian kale. So I'm going to plant some of that. I have a ton of spinach, and I'm probably just going to throw it all out there because I don't know what's going to grow and what's not, because spinach seeds, like I said, don't keep a very long time. This is the lacinato kale. I'm going to grow some of that. Um, this is the Scotch curled kale. Most of the seeds are heirloom seeds. Most of them. Some of them I might have gotten from some other people. So these are melanated organics. Okay. That was a new seed company. I never heard of those. So, and you guys know Baker Creek is organic. This is the 1,000 head kale. So I'm going to do those. The climbing spinach is going to seed. Oh, that's the Malabar spinach. Yes. So I have Malabar spinach here, and I have always forgot that I had it. Um, I'll have to look it up and see if I can still plant that now. I might be able to still plant that now. I don't even know how old those seeds are. So that was what? This was the 1,000 head, the red Russian, the lacinato, Portuguese, Scotch curled. So that's 5 kales right there. This is a dwarf kale. I'm not going to plant that one though. I'm looking for the white. Oh, here it is. This is white Russian kale. Yeah, the lacinato kale is the best one for making those kale chips. And I missed out on my kale chips this year because I pulled all that kale out. Baker Creek has horrible germination. Lately, I have not gotten any seeds from anywhere in a very long time. Because I have so much seed that I stocked up on when I did buy seed that I haven't bought it in a very long time. So that's why I have all these spinach seeds that I don't think are going to germinate because they're pretty old. White Russian kale. This was heirloom seeds. This was from the free heirloomseed.org. I had did a video on that one. Oh, and the amaranth. So I'll probably do some red leaf amaranth. If I can't do spinach, I'll probably do amaranth. And this amaranth will reseed itself and come back. So I'll probably choose that. Um, I have a few different amaranths. I got the Chinese multicolor, and then I got the Pink Beauty amaranth. I believe I sent those to Gail too. Those 2 types of amaranth. I sent Gail all the amaranth that I had, so some of all the amaranth I had. But these are all spinach seeds, you guys. This, all of these are spinach. So wish me luck because I don't know if any of these spinach seeds are going to germinate. Spinach doesn't hold very long, but we'll see. Um, if I do plant spinach, I'm gonna have to do. I'll go with the mustard spinach. That's a pretty fast one, so I'll probably do some mustard spinach. Um, what else? These giant noble. Big ruffles. I'll try that one. So I'll try those 2. If they don't grow, then they don't grow, and I'll just resort to the amaranth for the spinach that I need. I have a random red amaranth. growing in my driveway. Never planted it, just random, and it's huge and dark green. Beautiful. Never had it or know how to use it. Amaranth is just like spinach. You can use it as spinach. You can saute it when the leaves are young and tender, as Nikki says. When the leaves are young and tender, you can use them in salads. But amaranth is just another type of. I mean, it's just another. It's a spinach substitute, is what I'm trying to say. Hey, Dark Lord Minute. I'll be slow at the church setup. Okay, nice. All right, so that's it for that one. Now, that one. Oh, lettuce. I didn't even have lettuce on the list, but I definitely have to go some lettuce. So, let's see. This lettuce I got from Ukraine, and I probably should have planted this soon, or it says butterhead lettuce summertime. So it's telling me that it's probably either a slow bolt lettuce or or it doesn't bolt. Some lettuces are bred for specifically for the summertime. So and these are heirloom seeds as well. So I'll probably do some of those. And then let's see. What is this? Oh, this is midnight red amaranth. Oh, this is so good. This is red. I grew this once before. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I'll probably do some midnight red amaranth. I don't have ruby red. Now, if I do the red amaranth, I'm not going to do the ruby red lettuce. What else? Oh, here we go. Some romaine. So I'll do some romaine. I'll do the red amaranth, and then I'll do this butterhead lettuce summertime. I'll just do those for now. The rest of these are like blends, gourmet blends. Oh, here's the one I'm looking for, the Paris Island lettuce. So yeah. All right, so that's it for that. Hold on. I thought I had some radicchio in this bag. I wanted to grow radicchio too. Here it is, radicchio. So I'll grow some of that too. Some of these things I can just put in containers once it starts to germinate. Like the lettuce can go in containers, the radicchio, the spinach. Some of those they have shallow roots. They can go in containers. And I do have some of those. I do have some of those stackable Dollar Tree. I don't have any in here with me, but I do have some of those like stackable Dollar Tree. Um, Hello, David. Thanks for coming in. Planted some lettuce outdoors under some shade. You look like you got some pretty decent shade, Nikki. I have zero shade in my garden. Zero. Even with the shade cloths, it's still hot. So, and then in the places that I do have shade, I'm scared the rabbits are just going to have a feast on anything I plant over there. So I don't have any shade. Hi, Miss Shirley. What seeds do I need? Miss Shirley, I can't. Well, you know what? I did want to grow those berries, crazy cherry tomatoes. I keep seeing people with those and how prolific they are, and I don't have those seeds. But I mean, I really like. I'm really good on seeds. Look at all these seeds. is my seed collection here. And that's probably not even all of them. That's just the ones that I have in front of me. So I'm getting my seeds out that I am planting for fall. Okay, David. David said he might have some berries, crazy cherry. Nice. Seed hoarder much? Well, I do those seed swaps every year. So I tend to keep a good supply of a lot of seeds, even if it's the same seed from different seed companies or people that I have gotten the seeds from. So yeah, I try to keep tons of seed on hand because I never know what somebody might want. So here is some purple lady bok choy. I will be planting that. Seeds that are hard to find are the best ones to look for. I'm determined to find heirloom banana tree seeds for my greenhouse. Real natural bananas. Can't buy them anywhere here. I hear that. You do give a lot away. Yeah, I try to give a lot away. I try to continue to give a lot away because I continue to get more in just because I can't help myself. Um, Brussels sprouts are such a bad. I cannot grow Brussels sprouts, you guys. I've tried a couple times. I cannot grow no Brussels sprouts. Okay, so I got pak choy. So we'll do some of those. Let me get these out of here. This is my cabbage, Brussels, cauliflower, and what else? Onion, broccoli. That's all in this bag. So I've got, this is red cabbage. And this is purple broccoli. I'm not going to do those though. I'm just going to do the, wait. I've got two different kinds of pak choy. So I'll probably do both to see which one does better. Cabbage, cauliflower, not doing that. Okay, Napa cabbage, I'll do that. The Chinese Napa cabbage, because those are small. Those are like small, tight little heads. So I'll do that. I just don't want that huge cabbage taking up a lot of space. This is the Michelini Asian cabbage. I'll do that. Brussels sprouts, broccoli. I do need to do some more bunching onions. I'll do some more of those too. I've got the Flavor King and I've got the White Lisbon. So I've got two different kinds of bunching onions. Oh, you know what? I've got some bunching onions, you guys. I've got some crimson forest bunching onion. Okay, they're red. They're red bunching onions. So those are definitely going on the list. That and I'll do the Flavor King. Wait, is this the one I have? Yeah. That one and the Flavor King. So that one. What is this? Red cabbage? No. Doing that. Mm-mm. I already got pak choy. You know what? I might do this. I might do this broccoli rabe. So it produces an abundance of small leaves and side shoots, no longer than a quarter inch. So this is container friendly. So I might just do these broccoli rabes. That'll be that. All right, so that's it for this bag. So I got my kales, I got my spinach, I got my lettuce, I've got my bunching onions, broccoli rabe, Asian cabbages. What else? think that was it for there. Look right now. Mustards. Oh, peas. I definitely have to do some more peas. And radish. I think I'm going to be doing some winter sowing too next spring. Oh, seed starting mix all over. All right. I'm gonna do some winter sowing next. Um, Never heard of that. I have green. Yeah. They were from the heirloom seed. They are 60 to 70 days. And I will definitely be saving seeds from these when they do go to seed. Love bunching onion. Yes, me too. I love them because um I bunching onion is so much faster than regular onions. I really um onions take a long time for me. So I don't like to dedicate space for something that takes so long to grow. It's bad enough that tomatoes are taking so long, but bunching onions, they grow fast, they are tasty, they're easy to cut. So anytime I need some onions, I'll be glad to use bunching onions. So these are some radishes I'm going to grow. They're called China Rose. They take about 20 days to maturity. China Rose. It's super easy to grow. It's fast, and they just look pretty. So I'm all about the pretty. And then I'll probably do the watermelon radish. I wanted to do it for Joe's. I wanted to do it for Joe's thing, but I didn't get my entry video in time, so I couldn't do it for the grow big. And then I have these Japanese wasabi radishes, but I don't really care for wasabi, so I probably won't be growing those. French breakfast is also a good 25 to 35 days. Maybe I'll grow some of those too. What the hey? What the hey? All right, mustards, sorrel, and chard. That's what I got in this bag. So I've already got red mustards that are going to seed out there, and I'll just let those go to seed. These old fashioned, these heirloom old fashioned mustards, they did so good for me. And they're pretty fast growing. They are like 40 days. These did really good for me. So I'm definitely going to do some of those. And they were tasty. This is the Southern Giant mustards. I think I already have one of those that's open though. Red vein sorrel. Red vein sorrel. Yeah, that is the one that's open, I think. One of these is open already, but I have two of the Southern Giant curled mustards. This is the 5-color silver beet Swiss chard. So that's going in. Little gnat over here. The ruby red I already have out there, so I'm not going to do that one. Rainbow chard. We'll do some of that. Come on. Stop. Little annoying gnats. All right, so this is the regular sorrel, and then I got the red vein sorrel. Tender green mustards. Those are pretty good too. Here it is. Ford Hook Giant Swiss chard. This is the one I was trying to remember the name of. I knew there was Giant, in the name, but I couldn't remember the whole name. Ford Hook Swiss Giant Swiss chard. So that one's definitely going in. Question. Never grew garlic. They were doing great. Does the fact that the green stems died off mean they died? I planted them in April. No, when the green stems start dying off, Jamie, it's time to harvest. Did you have soft neck garlic or hard neck garlic? Do you know what kind of garlic you had? Did you get garlic scapes, like the little bulbs at the end of your green parts? Those are called scapes. Did you get those on the ends of your garlic? I just replaced my lettuce with new seeds while I'm listening. Good job, Robin. Okay, so you didn't get garlic scapes, but the garlic is dying, it's turning brown. So you probably have soft neck garlic. Soft neck garlic doesn't produce garlic scapes, so that's not a bad thing. But once you start seeing it die off, the parts that are green are turning brown, it's time to go ahead and harvest. All right, so I've got lots of tender green mustard. I still have red mustard. Got the ruby red. Oh, here's Tatsoi mustard. A lot of these greens are container friendly. So once here's large leaf sorrel. So I do have some sorrel, but I'm gonna go ahead and do both of those. What is this? More rainbow chard. Already got that out. All right, so one of these, the Southern Giant mustard. All right, so that's that. This was mustards, sorrels, and chard. This one is peas. I definitely got to have some snap peas in my garden. So we'll do the Oregon Sugar Pod snap peas. This is Sugar Snap. There's a few in there. I'll just throw those out. Get rid of that one. Sugar Snap and Oregon Sugar Pod. So those are the two snap peas that I have. These are purple hull peas, which are basically like black eyed peas, I think, right? Has anyone grown purple hull peas? Aren't these like black eyed peas? More purple hull peas. I'm not, those are like dry peas, right? If I'm not mistaken. I've never grown those. But I think those are like more like black eyed peas, like dry peas. And I am not about that life of growing tons of dry beans or dry peas because it just needs so many. You have to plant so many to get anything worth harvesting. You know what I mean? Some of these things are medicinal that I might be able to plant out, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and hold off and the winter sowing method medicinals. I'm growing Oregon Giant Snap. Crazy delicious. I've not heard of the Giant Snap. Okay. I've got the Oregon Sugar Pods and I've had Oregon Snap from Little Shop of Seeds. But I've not heard of the giant ones, Mike. You'll have to do a video on those. Have you done a video on those? You're short today. Okay. Are they growing already or are you planting them and you're short? I'll have to check that out. So yeah, these medicinals that I'm gonna plant, I'm gonna do that in a winter sowing method because some of these things might need a cold stratification. And the best way to get around that is to just winter sow them. Because if you winter sow them, you don't have to worry about how long they're gonna be cold, how long they be whatever. You just put them in the jugs. You make sure that they're moist, put them out, make sure that they're labeled. That is like the biggest thing you need to know is how to label your winter sowing jugs so that they don't fade away. Because it's very important to be labeled. Yeah, I'm gonna do that winter sowing method. That way, I don't have to worry about whether or not if it's cold stratified, how long it's gonna take to grow, when is it gonna germinate. When the spring rolls around, I'll check on the jugs, and whatever germinates, germinates, and then it'll be less work for me to have to plant. I'm also growing oregano giants. How come I've not heard of these giant snap peas? Now I am curious. Alright, so that is that. However, I did not see the mosh seeds in there, so they must be in a different box. Oh. Imagine that, more seeds. Oh, yes. So this is a perennial, and it's called Good King Henry. Good King Henry is a leafy green. It's an edible, low maintenance perennial green that you cook and eat. So I'll probably do the Good King Henry this year too. So this is the mosh. Okay. Look at this baggie and look how tiny those seeds are. You guys see those seeds, how tiny they are? So I have a ton of these mosh corn salad seeds. It's great to grow over the cooler months, over winter. It's very hardy. So I'll be growing some of those. Purple oric. I did want to grow this, but I'm gonna hold off on growing that because I feel like I'm running out of space here for the things that I want to grow. Has anyone ever grown callaloo? It's a Jamaican amaranth. It's called callaloo, and I believe I'm gonna plant some of that. It's a fall. It's a the mosh you can grow in the spring or you can grow in the fall, Jamie. It's just a cool weather crop. So when you plant it, you can plant it for fall, and it'll just it can overwinter is what it is. It can overwinter. Harvest early to stir fry whole. Ooh, yummy. Callaloo is just amaranth. Okay, okay. Yes. So the mosh is definitely going in the. Oh, here's one of those peat pellets I was talking about earlier. I have a bunch of these that I have to, get rid of before I stop buying those. But like I said before, I'm not going to buy those anymore because I'm not into peat. It's not sustainable, so I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of that, basically. So yeah, these are all flowers. All right. So I think I got everything that I'm going to plant. Let's see if I got everything on the list. Sorrel. Oh, turnip. Hmm. I did say I was going to grow some turnips because I grow turnips for the greens pretty much. I like turnip greens, but you know what? I'm not gonna do turnips because I've got the collards, the Swiss chard. I've got the all the other greens that I'm gonna grow. I don't need turnip greens. So I'm not gonna do those. But everything else I got. All right. I got everything on the list. So let me get my seed starting. Let me get my seed starting. I was looking for it and then found it and then found out. It's just what they call amaranth. It confused me at first. Okay, I see. Thanks, Sander. It's just what they call amaranth. Okay. So then, that's all right. I'll go it anyway. It's probably the green kind, right? It's probably the green amaranth. I think it's just green, isn't it? I like turnips raw as a snack. I love turnips and beef soup. Turnips is another one that kind of you can use in place of potatoes if you it's green. Okay. So I have a couple amaranths, so I'll put that with the amaranth anyway. The one amaranth I have is like a red leaf amaranth. So I'll have a green one and I'll have a red one. So that'll be fine. All right. Let's get some pots, some seed starting trays out here. Let's see if you guys can better angles here. Sorry. All right. Okay. So now my little cells. Some of the things that I'm going to put in containers, I can probably start in the cells. I think the lettuces, well, I could probably start it all in cells actually, because I don't know why I got these ones out. I usually use these for the summer, the hot weather things, like the things that are gonna get big fast, like cucumbers and squash and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't need those things. You can just use these. All right, so I've got one tray here. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started on filling it. Can you guys see? Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm telling you, I've never live streamed from my phone, so this is kind of awkward for me. Sorry. Sorry, guys. All right. I didn't mean to knock you guys over there. All right. Let's take that off the screen. We had some pretty gnarly thunder and lightning last night. I got some of it on video. I'll probably do a short later or tomorrow or something like that. But we got some pretty gnarly lightning and thunder. And it was like a rolling thunder too. Like it didn't just boom and stop. It was like it just like rolled for a while. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. It was like 2 in the morning, but I was captivated by it. I wanted to be outside in the and it wasn't pouring rain either. It was just kind of drizzling or whatever. But so I'm not gonna fill these all the way up. I'm gonna leave them empty enough so that I can sprinkle some like on the top. Most of the seeds that I have are really small seeds, so they are just like a quarter of an inch um, seed planting. So you don't want to bury them to the point where they can't germinate or whatever. I'll even this out after I fill these. But yeah, so I'm not going to fill them all the way up. I do want to kind of pack them down just a little bit. Just not pack them, but push them. Like push it down just with my finger. Try not to get it on the table. Not because I don't want to mess, but because I don't want to waste it. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Oh, yes, I love storms too, Jennifer. I do. Hello, Prez. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. We might get storms this evening. Ooh, I love storms. I really do. But the lightning yesterday was so crazy. Like it lit up the whole sky. I think it hit a transformer too nearby because um, we heard like a boom, the lightning had hit something. But yeah, it was like 2 in the morning, and me and Zeke were just sitting on the front porch. Uh, at one point, we were out here in the sunroom, and the thunder was vibrating the door, like the sunroom. I was like, wow, like I've never experienced that. It was pretty cool. But I was like, oh no, hope I don't end up losing power, you know? Gotta tend my garden, weather break, sun's out of set. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming in. You're getting a storm in Baltimore. Have you been dry out there, Press? Or do you guys need the storm? Or is it the opposite? Are you guys too wet out there? Or is it just enough? Some places are really dry and they really need the rain. And then other places are getting too much rain. I think we're kind of right in the middle. We went a good long stretch without rain. But when we do get rain, we get it like a few days in a row. Hello, G Mama. Thanks for coming in. Robin says, I like storms and then become a sissy while my husband laughs. He loves them. Been dry the past few days and sticky hot. It is definitely sticky and hot. It is definitely because of the humidity. It is pretty bad. I know somebody who lives in Las Vegas, And she said that it's not like it used to be, where you got the dry heat and, you know, like that dry desert heat. She said it's becoming very humid there now. So, I mean, climate change is real. Climate change is real. So the seed starting mix that I'm using, I showed it in the beginning. It's this here, this like brick of coconut coir. I like to use it when I'm starting seeds because it is sterile, it is organic, and I can use it in the house. If I'm starting seeds outside, it doesn't really matter what I use. I'll just use regular compost. But because these seeds are going to have to go in the house for the fall, I need to use something sterile because I don't want any bugs in the house. And if you're using compost from outside, chances are there could be larvae in there, and that stuff will catch, and then you'll have fruit flies and gnats and whatever else, spider mites. Anything's possible when you're using the soil from outside. So that's not, I don't want to do that. These are fall seeds, and I have to keep them cool until it is time for them to go out. Otherwise, I'll lose them all. And they'll all start bolting before they get a chance to produce anything. So, but I absolutely have to start them now because I need them to be um, of a certain age by the time I put them outside. So I definitely have to put them in the house and baby them. I'm not one for doing a lot of seed starting in the house. If you've seen any of my videos and seed starting schedules and things like that, spring planting schedules, then you know that I like to direct sow all my seeds if I can. However, this is just the situation that it is. I can't direct sow these seeds outside because it's too hot. It's too hot now. But when I need to have them outside, I need them to already be seedlings. So that's the whole reason for us doing the seed starting now, because you have to time it just right. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. We could use some more rain. It's been dry in Ohio. We'll be in Ohio, not this week, but next week, Miss Shirley. We will be in Ohio at Cedar Point. We're going to the amusement park in Cedar Point. The church Sunday school outing is next week. So every year the church has a summer outing for the Sunday school. And this year we're going to Cedar Point. Usually we go to Great America, but this year they changed it up. And then we're going to Cedar Point. So I'm excited. We've been to Cedar Point. We love roller coasters. I love Cedar Point. I lived a short drive from there, right across the lake. Really? That's awesome, Jen. Wow. I can't imagine living right across from Cedar Point. Oh my gosh. We would have season passes every year. Yes, Miss Shirley, Sandusky, Ohio. Cedar Point is fun for all ages. I always have fun there. Yes. Yes. We're probably going to stay at The water park hotel, the hotel that has the water park there. That way we have access to the water park and access to the park. So if it gets too hot or we get too tired, we can go back to the hotel and just go in the water park or swim instead. Because the last time we went, we got pretty overheated and it was a nice break. We went back to the hotel for a little while and then we did some swimming and um, it was a big help. We got cooled off and then we were able to go back to the park and continue the fun. I live in Windsor, Ontario. Some people take the boat across the lake. Others drive across to Michigan and around the lake to Ohio, like 2 hours. 2 hours? Wow. It's less time for you than it is for me. It takes me 4 hours to get to Ohio. All right. So I'm just shy of those 2 cells. I'm going to go ahead and hydrate this other brick because you guys can see I don't have enough to fill these last 2 cells here. And then I still need a little bit to go on top after I plant my seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and do this other brick. I'm reluctant to go any place where the public gathers for obvious reasons. Just saying. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, it's a 45-minute drive for you, Miss Shirley? That's awesome. Okay, let's get this other. I love using these bricks. They're so easy. They take up so little space when you store them. I usually stack up on them when I can, so that I need them like that. So yeah. So I just put it in here, pour my water on top. It's gonna double in size. This is my rainwater from my rain barrel. Like about, I guess you could say about a third of the way. About a third of the way. And it's already doubling in size. You can see it's absorbing all of the moisture. It's growing. Yeah, David, I wouldn't worry. Uh, I am very faith-based, I should say. I believe firmly that uh, what is going to happen is going to happen, and it's already been ordained. I'm trying to get you guys a good angle here. So I pray about it, and I leave it up to God. It's ultimately He's in control. So nothing I do or don't do is going to affect God's plan very much. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and God will make sure that it happens. It doesn't happen. So I waited hours to get on a new force, and while waiting, I watched the top thrill dragster keep malfunctioning. He goes up but can't make it over the top and comes back down backwards. Ugh. I love that dragster though. That That was a good ride. Yeah. So they had to revamp it. They had to redo a lot of things for drags because of that piece that came off. It was like a little metal piece that came off, and I guess it hit somebody. So then they had to shut the ride down, and the manufacturer had to So they shut it down indefinitely, and then they overhauled it, and then they opened it, and then they shut it back down again. So I guess they weren't happy with how it was supposed to be or whatnot, and now it's going to open back up again. What I was looking forward to riding it the last time we were there, and it was shut down. It was the first time we brought the kids there. Me and my husband had been there a few times before. I thought we were dating and whatnot, but the kids had never been there. So finally took them, and the top thrill dragster was out of order. So we were kind of disappointed with that. We didn't know at the time that it was going to be shut down. I worry too that the night almost stay safe, stay safe. Oh, all right, Xander, be safe, safe. I worry too, David. My anxiety takes over. I gotta tell myself to safe, safe. So I hope that helps. Absolutely, it helps. When you know that you're not in control and you know who is in control, it gives you that peace of mind. So I just pray about it and I leave it up to God and I take care of it. Right. So we're almost done getting built. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know it's probably hot where you guys are at. I'm hot up here in the summer. I normally do my lives at the computer, but I had to start these seats, so I wasn't trying to do that in the house. Make a mess. I needed more space to do this, so well, outside it is in the humidity. The temperature is supposed to be 91 today. We are supposed to get some more rain later, though. That I know. We're supposed to get some more rain. We got rain last night. We got rain the night before. I'm not sure this rain that we're supposed to get tonight is going to make it, though. It looks like it might blow over the lake. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes when I'm looking forward to the rain, it misses us completely, goes over the lake, and we don't get any rain. So sometimes it'll be like I'm watering or I'm not watering because I'm expecting the rain, and then the rain doesn't come, and I'm like, see, I could have watered. So yeah. I try to be aware. I try to be awake all the time and smart, but not live in fear. I feel safer at home, but when I want to go out, I just do it and pray over it. That's the way to do it. You got to pray, pray, pray constantly. It says the Bible says pray without ceasing. All right, so let's see where we're going to start first. I should probably put these things in some categories, or I also need to get my labeling out because I don't want to be, I don't want to forget what I got here. So let me grab my tape. So I use painter's tape. Usually I use masking tape, but I couldn't find my masking tape, so I had this tape on hand. And then what I'll do is I'll write on it, and then I'll tape it to the side of my tray. So that's that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What we're gonna start with. Let's start with the Swiss chard, I guess. Start with Swiss chard, right? So this is the Ford Hook Giant Swiss chard. Says it's 60 days to harvest. So that's perfect. And it's container friendly. That is also perfect. Heavy yields of rich, dark green, crumpled leaves are thick, fleshy, and are very tender when cooked. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more greens that I will be able to cook. So let's see. We'll do we'll do 4 of these. I'll do four cells of these, and I'll put 2 in each cell. These are pretty big. Look at how big these seeds are. Yeah, this is just one seed. So they're pretty big seeds. I'm going to put 2 in each hole. And that'll give me the potential for 8 plants. Okay? Potential for 8 plants if they all germinate, which I'm sure they probably won't all germinate, but I might get, I might get 6 out of 8, or I might get 4 out of 8. But all right, so then that was the Ford Hook Giant. So I'm gonna put Giant Swiss chard times 4. So I did Giant Swiss chard times 4. And I'm just going to tape that on the side of my tray so that I know what I have. All right, and then in that other one, I will do Swiss chard also. And I'll do the, actually, no, I'm not going to do Swiss chard in there. I'll do the, let's see. I'm trying to find something that I'm not going to grow a lot of, but maybe some of, to take up those other 2 cells. Because I want more Swiss chard than 2 cells. So that's why I'm not trying to use that for the 2 cells. You know what? I'll do lettuce. I'll do lettuce in those 2 cells. And basically what I'll do is make a plug of lettuce. Aware? Okay, yeah. I went to the mailbox and the mint you sent has arrived. Yay! All right, David. Get that mint in some dirt. All right, so I've got the butterhead lettuce summertime that I got from Ukraine. So what I'm going to do in these other two cells here, can you guys see? All right, so these other two cells. So I got these 4 cells here. These 4 cells are the camera. These 4 cells are the giant Swiss chard. And then these 2 cells here will be plugs of lettuce. So I don't usually plant my lettuce for the heads of lettuce. I usually plant them for at like an intense planting. So lettuce is really tiny seed. So I'm just going to sprinkle these on top. Tiny, tiny seeds. I'm going to sprinkle these on top. And basically, I'm going to take my nail and scoop it out. And I'm going to sprinkle it on top. And then I'm going to cover it. I think I just dropped one. All right. So that's that. Those are two. There's plenty of seeds in those 2 plugs. But now my hands are kind of sweaty, like clammy. Seeds are sticking to my hands. All right. So there's Swiss chard and 2 plugs of lettuce. So as I'm using them, I'm putting them on that side. Or actually, I'll put them in here. That way I can put them back where they belong. All right. So now I have to make sure I label that. That is the summer lettuce. What did it say? Butterhead lettuce. So we'll go ahead and label it butterhead lettuce. Times 2. Oops, I ripped my 2 off. All right, I'm going to put that. I guess I'll put that right here. Just like that. All right, what's next? How about the 5-color silver beet? Is this just basically rainbow Swiss chard? Right? This is just basically rainbow Swiss chard. And then I've also got rainbow chard out. So I'm just going to do this instead. I'm not going to do both of those. They're both, to me, it's just the same variety. This one's just called 5-color silver beet. And that one's called rainbow Swiss chard. So I think they're pretty much the same. I'm just going to make a little dimple in the cell. And I'm going to do 4 again. But 2 in each one. So really I'm doing 8 seeds. All right. So that's, I guess we can call it 5-color. 5 color chard times 4. I think somebody else said they got the mint. Was it Xander or Kristen maybe? Somebody said they got the mint. So I'm glad everyone's getting their mint. All right, so these last two here, I'll do something small, like, how about this red leaf amaranth? I'll do the red leaf amaranth in these 2 cells, and I'll do those as plugs. So maybe like 6 seeds in each plug. Look at that, they won't even come off my hand. All right, 6 seeds in each plug, or something like it. Tiny, tiny seeds, you guys. All right, and that is the red leaf amaranth. And we'll do times 2 with that. This one is also, it doesn't say container friendly. Amaranth is used as a warm seasoned spinach substitute in Africa, India, and the Caribbean. Or Caribbean, if that's the way you want to say it. This sweet and slightly tangy variety has 13% more protein than other grains in its heart-shaped oval leaves. Used in soups or salads, also a beautiful addition to cut flour arrangements. I guess that's once it goes to flour or goes to seed. So yeah, red leaf amaranth. If I could, I would send you the huge 3-foot red amaranth bush in my gravel driveway. Maybe I can squish it in a tall, narrow box and label it garden tool. Ah, that's funny. All right, so we got this red leaf amaranth. We've got the rainbow chard. Let's label this. All right, the next cell I'm gonna do, was that all of the Swiss chart I had? Yeah, right? Yeah, because I got the red one out there. So then for the next one, we'll do, we'll do kale. So I'll do white Russian kale. And these are some really tiny seeds too, you guys. Not as tiny as the amaranth, but they, whoop, there goes a few of them. But they're still tiny. So I'm gonna just scoop up like 3 in each cell. And we'll do 2 of those because I believe these have really excellent germination. These are heirloom seeds that I just got this year. So I'm pretty sure, I just dropped one. I'm pretty sure the germination on this one is pretty good. So we'll do 2 of those. That's the white Russian kale. I've never grown white Russian kale. I've grown the red Russian, but not the white Russian. I've got ×2 because I have 2 cells with that white Russian kale. All right, so the next one we can do the Scotch curled kale. Oh, Nancy, good. You got your mint too. Good, good, good. Good deal. All right, so we're doing the curled kale, and we're going to do the same deal. 2 cells, 3 seeds each. That'll give us the potential to at least have 2 plants, if not 6. I love kale, so that's the blue. No, did I say blue? Scotch curled. Two cells of Scotch curled. So the Scotch curled is 60 days maturity. So that's a good one too. It'll be 2 months by the time I can, well, it'll be before that because you can harvest them young, but 2 months is when it reaches its peak maturity, which would be perfect because by the time I put it outside, it'll be 6 weeks old, and 2 months is pretty much 8 weeks. So it'll be ready to harvest soon after I put it out. The Scotch curled is one of my favorite kales. It's one of my favorites too because the Scotch kale, when I planted that Scotch kale the very first time I planted it out there, I never had to plant kale again. It was like a tree out there. It grew back every year. The stalk on it was crazy thick, like a tree. I mean, I kid you not. But when I got so frustrated with all the weeds that were out there that I just tore everything out, and the kale had to go because it was in the way. And I did try to transplant it, but it didn't survive. So this is the red Russian kale. Red Russian kale. Let's see. Yep, 8 weeks in the fall. Transplant 8 weeks in the fall. Well, I'll be transplanting after 6 weeks, but. And I'm doing 4 in each cell on that one. I like the red Russian kale as well. I like all the kales actually, so I'll be happy with all the kale that I get. It's also called Ragged Jack kale. It's got like purple hues in it. It is really pretty to look at. Hello, Marketplace Boutique. Thank you for coming in. I'm back. Had to water the garden. Thanks for coming back, Troy. All right, so that last one was the red Russian kale. So we got white Russian kale, we got Scotch curled kale, and now we have the red Russian kale. I love kale. I can't have too much kale. My husband loves kale too, so all the kale is welcome. All right, so let's get this on the side here. And I'm just going to stick this on the side right where I put the seeds. All right, so this whole side is done. Moving on to this section here. I'll continue with kale because I still have to get the dino kale planted, the lacinato kale. This one also is container friendly, so that's cool. I'll have to make a note after I go back and go through the seeds because I have a seed journal. I didn't bring it outside with me, but I have I have a garden journal. So it's really good to have a garden journal so that you can take note of different things that are happening in the garden or not happening in the garden, when they happen in the garden, why they're happening, different things like that. That way, when you are starting the next growing season, you can refer back to your notes and say, oh, like end of May, beginning of June is when I started to see those cucumber beetles. So I know that for next year, end of May, before I see the cucumber beetles, I will start to use my DE, my diatomaceous earth. That way, when they do come, they won't have anything to eat because the diatomaceous earth will kill them off. So in my garden journal is where I will put down what I planted, when I planted it, and then next to each thing I can put down that it's container friendly or not container friendly, that type of thing. That way I know when I get ready to transplant, which things I can put in pots and which things I need to put in the ground. So that was the lacinato kale. It's a dino kale. It's referred to as dinosaur kale. And I love dinosaur kale because it's the best kale to use for kale chips. Kale chips are delicious. Delicious. All right. So we've got dino kale. We've got 2 cells of dino kale on that side. So we'll put this there. All right. So the next 2 cells, we'll do, oh, we have to do the Portuguese kale. So we'll do Portuguese kale there, and the next 2 we'll do like 3 and 3, like the last few. So we'll do 3 there and 3 there. Right? That's Portuguese kale. Where's my marker? Here it is. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll do the Portuguese kale there, and then I'm going to do the 1,000 head kale in the next cell. It's this huge kale here. Do the 1,000 head kale. And I'll just put them on the same label going across that front part of there. And then this goes right there. So important to label, you guys, because if you have any kind of memory like mine, I will forget. You hear me? I will forget. I will forget. My memory has gotten so bad over the years. All right, so we're gonna do another 3 and 3. This looks like it's kind of low. These seeds are really small, so you don't want to bury them. I don't want the cell to be too low. Super tiny seeds, you guys, super tiny. All right, so we'll do 3 and 3. And that's the 1,000 head kale. All right, now we're in the middle here. And I think in the middle, I'm just going to go ahead and do, I'm going to do, trying to make it easy for me having to label. So let's, trying to think of something I want a lot of. I want a lot of, I do want a lot of spinach, but I'm afraid I'm going to take up space in there and it's not going to germinate. Let's do this red vein sorrel. We'll do the red vein sorrel. These are some tiny seeds too. All right, so let me flatten this out a little bit. I'm old. My memory is about the size of a gnat's bottom. That's funny. I'm telling you, I don't know what, I mean, I'm not even that old, but my memory is terrible. What about carrots, celery, and onions? So carrots, I have some seed tape for carrots, but I don't know what it is. I don't do well with carrots. I don't know why. I direct sow carrots anyway. The onions, I'm just gonna do the bunching onions. So I'm gonna do these Flavor King, and then I also have some red, crimson red bunching onions. Okay, so I'm just gonna do bunching onions as far as onions is concerned, and I don't grow celery. I just we don't eat it enough for me to dedicate space to grow it. So yeah, I don't grow celery. Onions take too long for me, and I don't want to dedicate the space for it. So I don't grow big onions. Plus, we don't do a lot of things with onions. Mostly I use green onions because I don't like onions per se. I do like some onion flavor, but green onions, I can use that for anything. So they're easier to grow, they're faster, and they're easier to cut. So I choose to just do bunching onions. And they take up less space. Carrots in a 5-gallon bucket? Nope, never tried it. I think I tried carrots in a I tried carrots in a container before, but I don't remember what container it was. I think it was one of those like dish pans, like the white plastic ones you get from the Dollar Tree. I put holes in the bottom and I tried to plant in that. But yeah, the germination was bad, so I give up on carrots. I neglect carrots, so that's probably why I can't grow them. All right, so this was the red veined sorrel. And I did 6 of those. Because I want a lot of that. I've heard good things about the red vein sorrel, and I know that it will reseed itself and come back for me every year. And I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have to plant everything every year. I want things to just grow every year. So, um, what I'm going to do is try to plant things that I know are going to go to seed, and I can leave them where they're at, and they can drop the seed and grow again. So that's my plan at least. Don't like onions. Have you ever had a blooming onion? Oh no. I'm not, yeah. No. My husband can do that. I don't do the blooming onion thing. I don't like onion rings. I don't like onion rings either. Yeah, I'm not a big onion person. But now, like I said, the green onions, I could do that. That's not overwhelming. I love the green parts, and then the white parts are not real big and slimy like some onions can get. So yeah. So that's red leaf. And now I'm gonna do the large leaf green sorrel. They're really small. I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna do 6 of these like I did that one. I'm just gonna do 2. Tiny, tiny seeds, you guys. Tiny seeds. All right. And then the next one will be tatsoi. These ones are not as tiny. These are more like kale seeds. So these are easier to see and handle. I'm going to do 3 in each tatsoi. Make sure we get that label done. Tatsoi. I almost forgot the large sorrel. I didn't label that. Large sorrel, and that was 2 cells. I should have did the other way so I could just do one big long label. That's right. All right. And then here was, what was this? That was large sorrel, and this is tatsoi. So then I'll do pak choi in this one. This last one I'll do pak choi. So two tatsoi and 2 pak choi. I can't grow these things in the spring. I mean, I tried. I can't. They go to seed so fast. I mean, so fast. All right. So that's that. Let me get the pak choi. So I got 2 different pak choys to plant. So I'll do one in one cell and one in the other, and then we'll see what germinates. If they both germinate, then I know the seeds are both good. We'll put 3 in there. which is Am I Gardener. I'll have to go back to this video because I'm not labeling there. And then the second one will be this burpee. All right. And these are probably, yeah, these are container friendly. 45 days. I probably could direct seed those actually. I don't know why I even bothered to start those. Now that I think about it. Oh well. Oh well. Whatever. All right. I already did sorrel. I'm not gonna do those ones. Mustards. I do need mustards. I love mustard greens. So yeah, these ones did really good for me. So I know the germination is good. I'm just gonna do 2 cells of mustard. And that's old-fashioned mustard. So I'm gonna do the crossways. So I'll do old-fashioned mustard times 2. The second one will be Southern Giant Curled Mustard. Two of those. And then I'll do a mustard spinach. All right, so see that? And then I'm just gonna label that right across there. All right, so that's that. All right, so I got the old fashions planted. Now I need the giant, Southern Giant, curled mustard. I'm doing like 3 or 4 in each cell. And then the last one is the mustard spinach. It actually is frost tolerant, the mustard spinach. All right, so that's that. This middle one, let's see. I think I'm gonna direct sow the peas. I'm not gonna do those in the south. Those will get direct sowed. I'm actually I'm trying to debate whether or not I should direct sow the spinach. I think I'm gonna direct sow that spinach. Purple Lady Bok Choy. I might direct sow that too. This is Radicchio. So those are interesting looking seeds. They're kind of, um, they're not round seeds. They're like a oblong type seed. but they're small still nonetheless. All right, radicchio will go here in this middle. I just want to flatten it out a little bit, so when I cover it, it's not too deep. All right, so I'll do a couple there and a couple there. We'll just do 2 cells of the radicchio. I have to look at it again. I think I might have tried to grow it once, but I didn't. I didn't grow it, so I don't remember how deep of a root system it has. Radicchio, but I hear good things about it, so it's another one that will come back. So that's radicchio. These are the bunching onions. We're gonna need to do the Chinese cabbages, so we'll do those two in these middle. So the Chinese Napa cabbage and the Mishihili Asian cabbage. All right. I gotta make sure I do these labels because I will forget. Hello, Shannon, my little homestead. Just now getting some free time to pop in and say hi. Did you get your mint seeds yet, Shannon? People are saying they already got their seed, and I'm just wondering if you got your seed. All right, what was this? Mishahili. Have you tried black brandywine tomato? No, I have not. The only black tomato I've ever grown was the black prim. The black prim. That's the only black one I've ever grown. I've grown like some purplish ones, like the Cherokee purple, and then I have one that's called an indigo apple. So I've grown those ones before, but not black. The only black one I've grown was the black prim. Have you grown them before, the black brandywine, or are you growing those now? This is the Napa cabbage. These seeds I got from the Ukraine. They're heirloom seeds from the Ukraine. This was before uh, all of the things going on over there now. I got these seeds well before that. But yeah, was a really good seed company. I don't know if they're still in operation or not, but the germination on these seeds is outstanding. All right, so that's that middle section. So now over here, we're moving on to what we have left. Midnight Red Amaranth. I mean, these seeds are super tiny. You talk about some tiny seeds. These are probably as small as the Aunt Molly's brown cherries. Look at how tiny those are. Can you even see those? Super, super tiny. Super tiny seeds. Oh, sorry, you guys are crooked now. See if I can get you guys. Great. There we go. Yeah, so I almost forgot where I was at. Midnight Red Amaranth. This I grew before and it was amazing, outstanding. It was super beautiful. It's a great spinach substitute. Yes. So that was Midnight Red Amaranth. Two cells of that. Um, actually, I should have went sideways with that label. Let me redo that. All right, so Midnight Red Amaranth. We'll do the Paris Island Romaine. And then we'll do what else do I need here? These are radish. I'm gonna direct sow the radish when I direct sow the peas. I guess we'll do this Good King Henry. Oh no, Phoenix, are you okay? Is it heat related? All right, so I got the Midnight Red Amaranth. I got the Paris Island lettuce, romaine, and then the Good King Henry. That's all going to go here. Oh no. All right, take care, Phoenix. I'll be praying for you. I hope you're okay over there. Please take care of yourself. Paris Island, romaine. Also going to grow the heirloom lilac bell pepper and purple cayenne pepper next year. Oh, the purple cayenne pepper, I grew that. That was delicious. The lilac bell pepper, though, that one I have not seen, I don't think. But I love purple. And purple vegetables are good for you. So these are going to be plugs for the romaine lettuce. So it doesn't matter how many that I put in here. I'm not growing it for the heads. I'm growing it for it to be like a cut and come again. And then the last one is Good King Henry over here. Good King Henry is a perennial and it'll come back every year. And that's what I want. I want more things that are going to come back every year. That way I don't have to keep planting. And I'll have a pretty self-sustainable garden at that point. If I can get things to just reseed themselves and I don't have to keep planting things. All right, so now the only things we have left are the broccoli rabe, the bunching onions. This is the Flavor King, and then this is the Crimson Forest, which is like a red bunching onion. I'm excited to grow these. So I'm gonna do 6 of the broccoli rabe. I'm gonna do a whole 6 of those because I want a lot of those. So I'll probably do like 2 in each cell. So that'll be 8 seeds that I plant. So I'm guaranteed to get something out of 8 seeds, out of, yeah, 8 seeds. Well, no, that's 12 seeds because I'm doing all 6. So out of 12 seeds, I'm guaranteed to get something here, right? All right. Broccoli rabe. It's quicker than growing regular broccoli. It's like the tall, like skinny stalks with the broccoli head, little broccoli florets on top. That's what broccoli rabe is. You ever go to like a restaurant and they serve you that? There's also purple beauty. I've grown the purple beauty. Yes. I've grown the purple beauty bell peppers and I've grown the purple cayenne pepper. Those 2 I have grown. So this purple auric looks like it only takes 35 days. I might be able to just direct sow that if I'm going to grow that. I don't know if I took that out to grow it or not. All right, so now we're going to do the Crimson Forest bunching onion. I'm excited for these because these look so pretty in the picture. I'll definitely be saving seeds from these. I'm doing a whole 6 cells of these. And then I'll do a whole 6 cell of these. So this end here is all broccoli rabe for the first 6, red bunching onions for the middle, and then Flavor King bunching onions on the end. These Flavor King, I'm just being really liberal with the seed. I'm not even counting it. I'm just scooping it and dropping it in because I don't, it doesn't matter how many I get of these. I want a lot of these. The red ones, I don't have as many seeds, so I'm trying to kind of conserve just a little bit with those ones. I think I'm going to add just a few more until I can save some seed from it, which I will have to cover the flowers on it because it'll cross with the regular bunching onions. I don't want that to happen. I need to keep them heirloom, true to their variety. All right, guys, that is all the seeds that I'm planting for this seed cell. Let me go ahead and get these labeled while I'm thinking about it because I will forget. So this label is going to go across this way. So I'm going to turn it this way and then we'll have the Flavor King. We have the Crimson Forest. And then we have the Broccoli rabe. All right. So get that label on. So everything is labeled. So what I'm going to do is I've got these cells inside of a tray that does not have holes in it. That way, once they start growing, I can water them from the bottom. The mash, I do have to start the mash. I'll start that in a separate um, cell and tray. I'll do that separately because I ran out of cells here. But that's all I had left from that. The callaloo, which is regular amaranth, and then the purple bok choy. But I think I'm gonna direct sow those purple bok choys. I think I should be able to do that, like sometime in August or whatever, because it only takes like 30 days for bok choy, and I don't want it to be too big in my cells, and then you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the seeds. These Swiss chards. I'm gonna just push down a little bit. Swiss chard is a big seed, and it's about an inch on planting. So I'm going to moisten up. Well, looks like it might still be very moist. I'm going to go ahead and cover all of the cells. This one here has the lettuce in it, so I don't need to cover that one too tough. All right. And then I've got this one here, this like seed cell thing, it's empty one, that I'm going to use to like push it down a little bit and make sure that the seeds have an adequate contact with the seed starting mix. That way they stay moist and they have a better chance of germination. A lot of these are really small, so I'm not trying to cover them up too much. I just need, you know, a little bit of coverage. And then once I water them, it'll have contact as well. The first watering I am going to do from up top, just so that I can assure that the top layer of seed starting mix has, settled. So Wednesday night, I'm going to Illinois to get situated for my son's Navy boot camp graduation on Thursday. It's been a long time coming. He went into boot camp in February and he got set back 9 weeks because he had a stress fracture in his leg, two stress fractures in his leg. So he had to get sent to the medical unit for therapy for 9 weeks. So he was in week 4. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this in about 15 minutes. I want to try to get the full 3 hours now that I've gone over. I was just going to do 2 hours, but then I lost track of time. So needless to say, he is so glad to be graduating. I'm just about done here. I'm just covering up my seeds, and then I'm going to water them in, and then they will be going in the house under grow lights. So I won't be turning the grow lights on right away. I'll wait till they germinate, and then I'll turn the grow lights on. Most seeds do not need light to germinate, and I'm not growing any that absolutely need light to germinate. Lettuce sometimes needs light to germinate, but I'm not growing anything that really needs light to germinate. Lettuce will germinate, so I'm not worried about that. But these are going to go in the house and then under the grow lights. I don't do grow lights in the spring, but when I do start my fall seeds, I do grow lights. I have to, because these seeds are going to stay indoors for 6 weeks. And once they germinate, they're going to need some light. And I'm going to keep them downstairs where it's nice and cool, and they'll be nice and happy. So I'll have to keep them moist and with lots of light. After a week or so, I will fertilize them and get them off to a great start. And then, like I said, after 6 weeks, sometime towards the end of August, these will go out in the garden, and that'll be that. My first frost date is October 22nd, so I've got a ways to go before I have my frost, but these things have to be at a certain age in order to get outside and thrive. So, and if I get them out later, I can get them out later, but they have to be old enough to withstand the conditions that are outside. So some of these things, most of these things, are frost tolerant, and they can take a frost, so it's not a big deal, but they have to be old enough to take that frost. So that's why it's important to get them started ahead of time and get them established, so that by the time you get them out and they get, off to a good start, when the weather starts to cool off and we do start to get those cold nights, they won't be affected because they'll be old enough and strong enough to withstand that. So that's the main reason why you got to get a good head start on your seeds to be able to transplant them out at a certain time. It's all about timing. Some things grow quicker than others, so some of these things will probably be growing faster than others, but that's okay. I'll move them out of these little cells and put them in something bigger if I have to, just to babysit them until it's time to go outside. All right, everything's covered. I'm gonna go ahead and water these. I really didn't want to have to dump this big thing on here. Let me grab one of these small cups I have on this table. And I'm just gonna lightly water these in. I don't want to disturb it too much. I just want to make sure that the soil medium is nice and moist and in contact with my seed. All right, guys, about 8 more minutes. I'm going to end the live. But I appreciate everyone who stopped in. I appreciate everyone watching and hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up so that it'll help my channel and the YouTube world so others can take a look and see how I do things. Maybe they are beginner gardeners and don't know where to get started or how to get started or what to get started. Somebody might watch this and say, hey, I've never heard of that. I think I want to grow that, or look it up and say, oh, that looks interesting. I think I'm going to try to grow that. So, yeah, you never know who it might help. So share it out if you can. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'm not really good at saying that in every one of my videos or every one of my lives. I just feel like if somebody's going to subscribe, they're going to subscribe because they want to or they're led to, you know, but it doesn't hurt to remind people that, you know, hey, if you're not subscribed, then consider subscribing. I'm just watering these seeds in now. And then, like I said, these will go in the house. Kind of forgot where I left off, so I probably watered that one twice. I'm not trying to disturb the seeds. I just need to get the soil nice and, you know, settled in so that it has lots of contact with the seed. And that is it. So that's all my seed all my fall seeds are started now. Well, almost all of them. I'm gonna direct sow the peas and I'm gonna direct sow the radishes. But other than that, everything else has been started. Hope I don't do well with seeds that are inside, so hopefully I can manage to keep these alive. That's the main reason why I don't do a lot of seed starting in the house, and not to mention it's a lot of takes up a lot of space. It's a lot of work, and I'm just not into all that. I want to do things the simplest way that I can. So I usually direct sow everything as soon as I can direct sow it. So this seed starting method is the only seed starting method that I use, and the fall is the only seed starting time that I start seeds indoors. So hopefully I can keep up with these. Hopefully I don't let them die, because last time I something came up. I think my brother had passed. Um, so I completely forgot about the seeds that were started under the seed under the grow lights, and I was not keeping up with them. So I didn't take care of them. They dried out. The ones that did germinate, they ended up dying. The other ones never germinated. So yeah, I gave up on that fall garden that year. So hoping this year that it'll be different, and I'll have better success. So that's about it. I'm just trying to waste these last 3 minutes so that I can get the even 3 hours. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are considering starting a fall garden. And I hope you guys are going to consider starting some of these seeds for your fall garden. My whole idea for starting this fall garden is so that these things will become established in the garden and they will just grow back every year and I won't have to plant them again. So other than these greens and things, these will be in the garden, in the ground, in the garden beds. And then I'll just grow like my summer stuff, like squash and peppers and, melons and things. I'll grow those things in containers. That way I can get fresh compost every, season from the compost site in my containers, plant in those containers and so on. So these things will go in the ground and they'll stay in the ground. So my plan is for them to reseed themselves and come back every year without me having to put in any effort in growing them. So planting once and reaping the benefits year after year is is the goal. It's a goal towards a self-sustaining garden. Hello, Jazzy Mama. Thanks for popping in. I am just about to get off of here. I just started all of my fall seeds for my fall garden. So I was just talking a little bit about the goal that I have in growing these particular varieties and these particular seeds is that because I want to have a self-sustaining garden to where these things will grow, they will go to seed and they will drop seed and they'll just come back on their own year after year and I won't have to keep planting them. So that's the goal to a more self-sustaining garden. But check out the replay and maybe you can get some ideas on some varieties that you might want to grow in your fall garden. But yeah, I did a lot of varieties today, a lot of different greens and a lot of different kales and that type of thing. So check out the replay, give it a thumbs up, share it out. And until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.